Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a brand new video. Today we have a huge perfume haul, you guys. I've picked up so many fragrances between this first month of the year and also December, like around Black Friday when they had all those sales. So we're gonna go over about half of my new purchases in this video. So if you guys are interested in seeing some of the fragrances that I've added to my collection, then keep on watching. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Oshumare. On this channel, I talk about all things smell good. So if you're into smelling good, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you are a returning viewer, hey, it is so good to see you. All right, you guys. So because we have so many fragrances to get through, this is going to kind of be an overview of the fragrances that I've just brought. And the first fragrance that I brought into my collection, I think at the end of last year, or was it the first week in January? Something like that. It all blurs together. And this one is called Burberry Intent. So they came out with one that was called Intent a few years ago. From what I've read, this one doesn't smell anything like that one. This one to me is just very juicy, fruity, very strawberry forward. And some of the notes in here are wild strawberry. I think there's some orange blossom. You also have some ambroxan. You can definitely smell that Burberry her DNA in here. The only difference with this one and the elixir really is that it's more of a realistic take on a strawberry, like a juicy, ripe strawberry. You get the strawberry in the elixir too, but that one is more creamy and smooth. It's deeper. So perfect for the fall and the winter. This one you could wear all year round. And I do like it because I love that DNA. So you know what this kind of puts me in mind of? If you know what the new, well, not the new because they have so many fragrances that have come out since then, but Strawberry Letter from Fleur smells very similar to this. To me, Strawberry Letter is a very sophisticated take on a strawberry. It's not overly sweet. It's not synthetic smelling. It just smells like a strawberry perfume. You're getting that same DNA in here. And I don't really know why I haven't seen that many people talk about it. Maybe they just think it's a little redundant. I don't know, but I really do like it. I'm happy I have it in my collection. So yeah, once again, this is Burberry Intense, the 2024 version from Burberry. The next one I added to my collection is one of the newer Sabrina Carpenter fragrances, and this is called Sweettooth Me Espresso. So this is the one that has that coffee note in here. There's like coffee, cappuccino. I think you have some biscuit, vanilla. And y'all, this one to me smells so different than the original ones. Almost has this niche quality to it that I wouldn't expect from a Sabrina Carpenter fragrance. I thought this was gonna be like a touch of coffee with a whole bunch of sweetness and sugariness like her other releases other than the cherry one. But the caramel Sweettooth, the original Sweettooth, they have this sweet fluffiness to them. And I thought this was gonna kind of be along those same lines, but this actually went into another direction. And I think it is a really good take on a sweet coffee fragrance. Just the blend of everything together creates this like smooth, irresistible, delicious scent. Some of the notes in here is espresso, you have cappuccino, jasmine, vanilla orchid, whipped cream, caramel, there's amber, so it's sweet, it's a little lactonic. I think there's also some milk in here. I'm actually really impressed with this. Mostly I would pull for this one in like the fall and the winter. I can't really see myself wanting to put this one on when it gets very hot outside. It might be a little suffocating, but I think it's a nice take on coffee. If you're kind of starting to get into coffee fragrances, you don't want to smell like you just walked out of Starbucks, I think this would be a really good starting point. But I feel like this bottle kind of did a disjustice to the juice that's in here because this smells like a grown woman, like Sabrina Carpenter, all grown up. And I think she is a grown woman, but the other ones, with the exception of the cherry, smell kind of teeny boppy, you know? I think that a lot of grown women are gonna pass over this one because of the look of this. I mean, it looks like a blue candy bar and they're not gonna really be able to see how good this fragrance really is. It's not gonna get its stars. I mean, it's probably gonna get its stars from the younger audience, but as far as women who are collectors of fragrances, I don't think it's gonna get as much love as it deserves. Because I think it is a really nice, smooth, coffee, creamy, slightly sweet lactonic fragrance that I think a lot of people would enjoy. Once again, this is Sweettooth Me Espresso from Sabrina Carpenter. Next, we're gonna talk about a house that I've never bought anything from prior to this year. I heard AI the Great talk about this fragrance like a few weeks ago. It sounded very girly. I think she said it was very frou-frou-la-la, which is a term I like to use all the time too. I think I say frou-frou-lolly, and I may say the house and the name backwards, so if I do, excuse me, but I think this is by TUMI, and this is called Whisper, and I left it in this bottle because I think the presentation when you open it is really pretty. It's a really nice, very feminine, girly bottle, and you only have about 3 notes in here, which was plum, rose, and moss, I believe. But y'all, This did not disappoint. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's like a juicy rose fragrance. So it opens with a huge blast of a realistic rose, like a modern take on a rose, not an outdated rose. But as it starts to dry down, and even now on this paper, it has this like fruity component to it. And y'all, it is so pretty and sparkly. This is gonna be one that I'm definitely gonna be pulling for starting in the springtime and then well into the summer. And I think it's gonna be really nice layered with other things too. So if you like a fruity floral take, more so floral and then fruity, I think you would really like this. Kind of falls in line with like the Gucci Garden and the Gucci Lily, like all those different takes on a Gucci. This one would fall right into it, and it's a really good price for a niche fragrance. So if you're interested, I'll have the link down below. Once again, this is Whisper from TUMI. Next, we have an oil that we're gonna talk about, you guys. So this is one of the new oils from Skinpotion. They just released a couple new scents, but this is the one that captivated me when I heard about it from Sabrina M. And this is called Creme de Vanille. And I love how all the fragrance oils, they all pretty much look the same. And they always have some type of floating, like if it's a rose fragrance, they have rose petals in there. In this case, I think there's some type of vanilla. So that looks like that might be like a vanilla bean just floating in there, or maybe not a vanilla bean, something else. What made me want to try this is that it was kind of described as being a grown and sexy vanilla. And y'all, this is such a good freaking oil. If you've never tried anything from this brand, their oils are super potent. So you can just put this on and this can be your scent of the day. You can mix it with other things, but a lot of times I'll wear this as a base. But if I'm going to sleep, I'll just use this as, you know, the scent that I'm gonna wear to bed. And oh gosh, I just smell so good. My sheets smell good. I wake up in the morning, I can still smell whatever I put on. And the inspiration for this one is some type of French pastry. And whatever that dessert was had different layers of like vanilla and butter and some type of like flaky, just yumminess all throughout the pastry. And some of the notes in this one is buttercream, vanilla sponge cake, caramelized sugar, creamy custard. You have some tonka bean, almond cream, sandalwood. I think it's sugar sandalwood, vanilla. And I'm gonna put a little bit on just so you guys can see a little bit really does go a long way. I mean, look at that. That was barely, that wasn't even like half of a squirt. But y'all, this smells delicious. Okay, so if you've ever smelled Milk, the espresso version by Commodity, this oil smells very, very similar to that. And I don't think I heard anyone who's talked about this mentioned that, but immediately when I smelled it, I was like, oh yeah, this is given milky, vanilla, slightly lactonic. You get the butter, but I'm mainly getting like this lactonic, milky take on a vanilla body oil. So this is gonna be an amazing base for so many things. And you know what pairs really nicely with this? So when I first got this, because it reminded me of, you know, like that just like warm, very unique lactonic take that like, you know, Commodity milk has, I thought that this would be really nice paired with Me Espresso from Sabrina Carpenter. And y'all, these go together. So, I mean, the harmonization of both of these together is so beautiful. This is not a gourmand, super sweet type of vanilla. If you know what Commodity milk smells like, and you guys trust me when I tell you guys something that smells very similar, just know that this one smells so, so similar to that. So you have an idea of what it smells like if you were curious about, you know, getting your nose on it or picking it up. So once again, this is Creme de Vanille from Skinpotion. The next fragrance that I've added to my collection is one from a house that I'm newer to again. And a lot of people love these fragrances, but I don't know why I have never gotten anything from them. But this is from the house of Oakcha, and this is called Marshmallow Mist. And y'all, it really does smell like a cloud of marshmallows, but it's like a whisper of it because there's cloudberry in here. And if you've ever had anything from the Daisy line, they have a lot of cloudberry notes in their fragrances. This one has that same quality in it. This is what the mister looks like. Love the misters, they're really nice. Almost looks continuous. It's not continuous. You have to keep on going like that. So this opens up with a soft whisper of a marshmallow, not overly sweet whatsoever, but it's also a little bright and citrusy. Yeah, the orange in here, it's very, very dominant. and it's really pretty mixed with the marshmallow. But then I'm also getting some type of floralness to it too. So some of the notes in this one is marshmallow, cloudberry, sweet orange. Yeah, that is so dominant. There's some star anise in here, caramel, honeysuckle, milk. You have some musk, vanilla. Then as it dries down, I for sure am getting some type of floral aspect. So I think it's probably that honeysuckle. It's not exactly what I was expecting from a marshmallow fragrance. I was hoping that there would be more caramel in here, vanilla, I would get more milk, but I feel like the most dominant note in here is 100% the orange. Almost smells like an orange peel, and then with a little bit of sweetness on it. So I think this would be a really good topper with a lot of fragrances. I don't know if these fragrances need to sit and kind of, you know, blend together a little bit more. Comment down below, let me know if you guys are familiar with this house. But once again, this is Oakcha's Marshmallow Mist. This next fragrance that we're going to talk about is one I was actually gifted from the brand. I thought it was so sweet that they reached out to me, asked if they could send this over. Of course, I love fragrances, so I'm like, yes, please. And I left it in the packaging because I think the packaging is so pretty and sparkly. And this is the newest one from Jimmy Choo, and this is called I Want You Lay Parfum. Look at all that. Look at all that glitter. And then when you open it up, that gold on the bottle, I think is so pretty. Isn't that nice? It's just dripping in like liquid gold. So I actually can't really speak to this fragrance a whole lot because honestly, I haven't worn it. I've sprayed it maybe once or twice, but then I got sick and I just kind of tucked it away. I do know that I remember it being very sweet, very strong. And I don't have the original I Want You. I only have I Want You in the green. I Want You Forever. So I don't really have anything to compare it to, but I do know that I like it, and I think it's gonna be great for date night because it is very strong, very dense, but super sweet and just delicious smelling. So some of the notes in this one is pear, yep, blackberry, gardenia, oh, patchouli. I really don't get a lot of patchouli. Jasmine, praline, you have some sandalwood. So I mostly am getting a whole lot of those top notes. And it could be the mix of the sandalwood and the patchouli that's giving it a very strong punch when you smell it. But you're definitely also getting those sweeter notes from that praline. I think it's really good, and I need to wear it now because I don't see myself really pulling for this one in the spring and the summertime. And thank you so much for sending this over to me. You guys, I'm finally getting some brands who are actually sending me some fragrances. It's so exciting. But once again, this is Jimmy Choo, I Want You Lay Parfum. This next one is one that came out, I think, at the end of last year or the beginning of this year, but this was a very controversial one that came out. Some people really like it. Some people really don't understand why we needed this as a flanker. And this is one from YSL, and this is Black Opium Glitter. And I just think that this bottle is so pretty and just glittery. I love all things glittery if you haven't noticed. Just to cut to the chase, this one smells very, very similar to the original Black Opium, but to me it smells fluffier and much sweeter. And I love it, y'all. I think it smells like a Tootsie Roll with some marshmallows. Oh, or like some coffee with a whole bunch of marshmallow flavored creamer in it. And I love me a good cup of coffee, but it smells very soothing to me. I really do think that it smells different enough for me to want to keep it in my collection than the original one. And I know that because I went into Sephora when it came out and I sprayed one on each wrist. And when you smell them side by side, that's when you can really tell the difference. Black Opium is a little bit more dated smelling. This one smells way more modern, a little sweeter, a little fluffier. It's not like a gooey type of marshmallow though, but it is an extra added sweetness. And some of the notes in this one is green mandarin. You have some pear, there's some orange blossom, coffee, vanilla, there's marshmallow. I think there's a little musk in the base. I'm so happy that I just took a chance and wanted to trust my own nose, walk around the mall and see how it mixed with my, body chemistry. And y'all, I was breaking my neck to get back to Sephora and get this. That's how much I really like it. So I'm happy to have it in my collection. Once again, this is Black Opium Glitter. I think if you think it smells like the original, you should smell them side by side because you can tell the difference. Next, we have two from the house of Snif, and we're gonna start off with Naughy Nona. So this one came out, I think, towards the end of last year, and this is supposed to smell like a fruit cake or something like that. I don't really remember what fruit cake tastes like. I just know that I don't remember it being a regular thing at the Thanksgiving table or Christmas or birthdays or anything like that. And this is also not open because whenever you get anything from Snif, at least off of their website, you get sent a sample size of any of the fragrances. So that way you can determine if you like it enough to keep it. But if you don't like it from this little sample, then you can just return this back sealed. And you guys, this smells delicious. It's got this sweet, foodie gourmandness to it. If you are a gourmand girly or guy, you would love this one. You get a huge blast of that rum mixed with walnuts and that orange and the ginger and the opening. I mean, you get really like everything. All the notes are in sync with one another. And I feel like if I remembered fruitcake smelling like this or tasting like this, there's no way that I wouldn't remember it. But this is probably going to be on my February perfume tray. And some of the notes in here are walnut, rum, ginger, candied ginger, vanilla, and orange. But it does put me in mind of all the spices and everything that you would smell in the air, the aroma of Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna have to get some use out of this before it gets too cold because I can't really see myself wanting to pull for this. When it gets really, really hot outside, this is perfect for right now. If you've ever tried the fruitcake, whatever this is supposed to smell like, let me know, does it taste like this smells? Because maybe I need to taste it. Excited to wear this one. Once again, this is Naughty Nona from Snif. The other one that I got from Snif is one of the newer releases as well. Not the newest, but the one that came out before the newest release. And this is called Honey Sweet. And I was curious about this one because there's honey in the title, which I usually do love honey, but then the name Sweet, you never know what kind of direction that one is going to go in. And here is my little sample size right here. Again, this one is not open either. And honestly, I don't know if this one is for me. Ooh, it's coming off a little too unisex for my taste. Yeah, I'm struggling with that opening. It's very masculine to me. So you have to enjoy a woody saffron opening. Otherwise, you're probably gonna struggle with this one as well. Some of the notes in this one is honey, saffron, broom. Not sure what that is. Frankincense, vanilla. You have some cedar, lavender. Once it completely dries down, that's when that lavender does come out and it gets a little smoother. It's not as sharp. But realistically, with me knowing myself, I know I'm probably not gonna reach for something like this because it just leans a little too masculine. It's very complex. It doesn't smell like a whole lot of other fragrances in my collection. So to that, it's very unique, but this is usually not a scent profile that I gravitate towards. So once again, this is Honey Sweet. And the last fragrance that I wanted to share with you guys is one from Imaginary Authors. This is my first fragrance from them, and this is called Dipped in Chocolate. So I've talked about this one a few times on my channel. Really didn't go into depth because I knew that I wanted to include it in this new fragrances in my collection video. But y'all, this is such a realistic, almost resinous type of chocolate. It is so strong and just in your face. This is one of those fragrances that announces itself before you even enter a room. If you're like walking through the halls, everybody's gonna smell it on you. And it does smell very realistic to, oh my gosh, y'all, that is incredible. I have other chocolate fragrances in my collection, but I don't think I have anything like this. And it may just be because it smells like a realistic, huge scoop of dark chocolate ice cream in a honeycomb. And maybe mixed in with a little like vanilla ice cream too, but mostly chocolate. And since some of the notes are on the back, I'm just gonna read what's on the back of here. So you have chocolate, cardamom, vanilla cream, sandalwood, benzoin Sumatra. Oh, I've never seen that before in anything. And a whiff of waffle cone. And I feel like around Valentine's Day, this would be a nice one to wear as well. And even if you mix this one with the new one from Burberry, Burberry Intent, because this would be like chocolate covered strawberries. And matter of fact, I'm sure it's gonna give that because this is a realistic strawberry. That one's, you know, a realistic chocolate. Oh yeah, oh, that strawberry is so pretty in there. Yeah. Chocolate dipped covered strawberries. Oh yeah, so that would be nice. So maybe, you know, if you go out during the daytime or earlier in the night, you have one fragrance on and then you can go home, take a shower and then put something like this on. You're just gonna be smelling sweet and edible and oh, it's gonna be a fun night. So once again, this is Dipped in Chocolate from Imaginary Authors. And that is it, you guys. Those are some of the fragrances that I've added to my collection. Comment down below, let me know if you guys have any of these in your collection too. What do you guys think about it? Especially that Honey Sweet. How do you guys guys feel about that? Have you tried this chocolate one? How come no one's talking about this new Burberry? What are your thoughts on this one? And even if you don't have these, what new fragrances have you guys added to your collection? And before you go, also drop down below and let me know, what is your scent of the day? I think I kind of want to start asking y'all that because I'm always curious to know what my audience is rocking out in these streets. Now, as for me, I have no idea what I'm wearing today because after all these fragrances, I can't really smell what the original scent was of the day. But going forward, I'll, keep it in mind and let you guys know what I am rocking. If you guys did like today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up before you leave. Share it with a friend or two. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. And as usual, take care of yourself. God bless you all. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.